Yeah, and another APAC team that we get to see now with SCARZ, of course, though, going up against a Wildcard from North America, which should be a lot of fun. Again, you've got a team in Wildcard, which we haven't really seen, right? So, like, we get to see something a little bit different, whereas for SCARZ, it's probably a little bit more of the same in terms of the roster that they're kind of bringing to the table. It's a good test, though. I think for both teams, admittedly, a Wildcard roster that's nearly put together versus a SCARZ roster that has got quite a bit of experience. And I think over the last 12 to 24 months, it's a team from APAC that we typically expect to do well, make majors, etc.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of intriguing changes just across the board. For many of the 20 teams attending Reload and Wildcard, very much at the top of that list. I mean, Dash coming in feels kind of random, right?
Yeah,
but such an experienced player. Won at Montreal, of course, incredibly accomplished. Baby Shark in as well, over from France. So I don't know how it's going to work. Like,
it's also a best of one again, so like, it's a bit tricky because you kind of look at this as a a really good feel out for both of these two rosters against each other, but I wouldn't be taking a whole lot away from it. Right? It's similar with the FearX and CAG game.
Day one, even two to an extent, is very much a vibe check, right? Like, how did the players look inside of the server? What are they looking to approach with? I'm not necessarily looking at the end result, more so how they're approaching the game and how that's translating, and this match is going to be a great example of that. I
do promise, by the way, there are other maps. We're just going back to Chalet again.
Yeah. That's a good map.
That's all good.
I think as the guy said on the desk, right? An extension of what they said. You're probably trying to find some comfort at an event where things are kind of uncomfortable. New build, new rosters, a lot has changed. Chalet, though, very much still playing out in a similar fashion to what we've come to expect, at least what we saw in the previous matchup.
Yeah, and I think as well, when we kind of come into this particular matchup, I was wondering for that social prediction. I was like, 62%. I was like, who's that for? It's for Wildcard. At the end of the day, you also don't want to give too much away. We're playing best of one, so you might have a predetermined map where you're like, yeah, let's just go to a map like Chalet, have some fun, and we don't have to, kind of reveal too many of the secrets as we head into the first ban phase of many, which was, I think, a pretty good success from the first match that we saw for CAG and FearX. And that's the other thing as well. You kind of got the CAG and FearX match as well on Chalet to use as a reference point too, because that was a match in which neither of those two teams really found a lot of success attacking. So straight away coming into it now for SCARZ is they're going to be attacking first up in this opening half against Wildcard. The question will be on them. Can they actually find some attacking success here on Chalet, or is this just going to be the defender side of the game?
Well, the onus is on very much SCARZ to be the initiators here in the first half. The bans have come through. Azami Tub from SCARZ, followed by the Monty Damos off the board from Wildcard. We'll wait until the conclusion of round number 3 for the additional bans to come through. Again, it's maybe your first time watching CJX, and it is a new ban phase heading into this particular season. And
it's early on, but I think it's going to breathe a little new life
subtle change.
Yeah, a little subtle change. I think the fact that as well you get to kind of ban out two from the opposing side, so for SCARZ attacking into this, you can get rid of the Azami and the Tuber out, rather than just sort of like one of them, for example. You get to choose the two this time.
Yeah. 10 seconds to insertion.
Well, we head into the second match. To reload again, only 2 bullets that have been reloaded.
Well,
Day one
is a maximum of 2 for the first day. There's been, from what I've looked so far, the majority of teams elected to put 2 on the board, but there are teams that did the 1. I think Elevate in the previous match against Furia only listed 1. Obviously a bit of a high risk.
Which is probably a smart way to kind of go about it. You're going up against, Furia. But yeah, I think for me, coming into this open half, all eyes on SCARZ and their ability to attack. APAC has really struggled with attacking in Siege over a large period of time now, when, back in the old days, you think either pre-COVID or even just slightly post-COVID, it was all about, well, APAC's kind of this all-gun, all-attacking, flare-based, sort of region. But actually, in terms of recent times, it's been a region that has struggled attacking on maps. And so that's definitely going to be something that we will see. SCARZ can find some early success on the attacking side. Wildcard on the defense. We get to see this new-look roster for the first time as well here at Reload. And I kind of come into this 25-26 esports campaign really with my eyes glued to the North American region. There's so many changes, so many really solid teams. That's the region to watch for me to see, can they make that next step?
Some of which are not in attendance as well. I mean, Shopify is probably the greatest example of that.
Oh, so you're going to talk about the casters?
No, they're not.
I do have to give a quick shout out to our lovely friends in Parker and Jesse, who are actually
I did actually see Intero went live on Twitch, so
yeah,
he
has gone live, so shout out to them. They are North American.
Gotta reload.
Just on the north side. North. 1-for-1 trade here. Grim off the board for Choppy, and Dash, who's a big pickup for this wildcard roster, has lost his life on the Fenrir. And Washoit very, very low as well on the IQ. But it's been a quick start to this round, but not a whole lot has happened. A little bit of map control established for SCARZ, especially on the top floor.
It runs on batteries. I see it.
Yeah, pretty aggro extension, but the fall off now in play. Bay Library, supported by Baby Shark over towards the library stairs. A bit of a cross established, and actually down below as Baby Shark pops his head up.
Well, there's a yellow ping there. He knows there's another one at the end of the hallway, but he does lose the battle. Baby Shark had the information, but hey, Gator had the better aim, hits the headshot. And just like that, SCARZ established a 3-on-2 advantage. Hey, Gator has now been down. Wildcard certainly have information as to the whereabouts of SCARZ and what the way they're pushing. Fire extinguisher. Ooh. Oh, okay. Good use of it. Just kind of block a little bit of that line of sight towards games, as Fishlike is... In fact, all 3 members of SCARZ are incredibly low, and Spiker will take advantage of it.
Very aggressive. Wildcard rewarded. Gator falls as well. Fishlike now the last remaining player from SCARZ. Low on HP. And supremacy from above. Wildcard with a good start.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a pretty decent round, all things considered. I spoke about SCARZ and APAC as a region struggling to attack, especially in that previous match between CAG and FearX, but that attack that round wasn't completely awful. They were able to very much get a few picks onto Wildcard, get some of that top 4 control, slightly make their way over towards site, but credit to Wildcard, especially Spiker, was able to establish good position, hold strong, get a couple of kills, and they also got a lot of damage in that round. Like when it was a 3v2, like they were all very, very low. Yeah, a little bit of an early conflict, and I love that peek as well from Baby Shark. Thought he maybe should have got the second kill as well, but at that point, Washoy, Gator, Fishlike, all very low. It wasn't going to take much for Wildcard to close that round out, and they start well on defense.
Yeah, effective peel from Wildcard and then able to re-aggress it towards Library. That SCARZ seemingly did not have a read on 2. Keeping in mind as well, the Valkyrie in that round seemed to be feeding really good information. IQ was on the board, but clearly not finding all of that.
Well, we started our first match of the day with a technical person for a rehost, and we're going to do that again today. There's a rehost, unfortunately, after the 1 round has been played out, which is slightly better than the first match because we got it before the first round was actually played out, so that's at least something.
Oh, we're still ahead of the B stream, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, like we obviously on the A stream didn't realize, but the B stream was like severely behind. Poor Ace and Dez. But yeah, I mean, I think for this match, again, you got to kind of re-cool things down a little bit. It's day 1, you know, fresh tournament, and coming into a fresh year. So expectations on a wildcard roster newly put together are very low. I mean, and that's probably a good thing. You don't want to come into a tournament and have super high expectations. And this is kind of the caveat for Reload in comparison to, say, a major. If Wildcard as a roster did well in North America, qualified for a major, then there's a little bit of expectation because you've qualified for a tournament. But this is a little bit different because it's the partner-only invite system and they get to kind of come here and play. There's pretty much no expectation on this Wildcard roster outside of maybe at least do well against the APAC teams.
Is it unfair to bundle them into those teams that perhaps wouldn't qualify if it was a qualification?
Well, we had this discussion actually on the Jake.
I feel like Wildcard are just teetering on the edge.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing, right? Because it's
so many unknowns, though.
It's exactly. There's so many
big assumptions on this team.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. You know, you're going into and to be fair, this is where for Wildcard, depending on how they actually perform at this event, then the connotations around them change going into the North America League to come for stage 1.
Yeah.
So then that's like, well, suddenly you've got maybe a change in the level of expectations. If Wildcard got an amazing run here at Reload and look amazing, then you go into the North American League to follow, and you're like, well,
target on your back.
We're going to get that back again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and also for SCARZ, for CAG, for FearX, seeing these 3 APAC teams as well to begin here day 1 on the A stream, going into APL, you know, like this newly reformed APAC system, the 5th APAC system that we had in about 5 years, but, you know, that's going to be, again, you know, another thing to consider later on as well.
Yeah, very intrigued to see how APL's going to shake up this year.
Well, I mean, you know, we've been a little bit separated, haven't we, in the last little bit of time with all the sub-regions?
Over time, teams very much lent into just being good enough to qualify in their own regions, and it created massive issues internationally. Now, they're going to have to be far more competitive in APAC.
Well, the hope is as well that we can get to a point where APAC teams can get to events and have higher expectations to do well. rather than just, you know, bomb out phase 1 or whatever it may be, depending on the format. But I hope it's a case of the region can lift itself up with a format such as APL. Rather than trying to improve within your region, it's almost like all the regions within APAC improving together. Form as one to take down EU and Brazilian supremacy. Which, by the way, you know, like that's my thing for North America is the match is re-beginning, by the way. We can see it on our second monitor, so don't fret. We are getting back into Chalet here, round 2 coming up shortly. Is this the year, and I say the year 25-26 campaign, right, going in towards 6 Invitational, so over the next 8 months or so. Can North America take that next step? Shopify Rebellion's looking good. I mean, they're not at this event, but...
I feel like I do share the same kind of optimism as you. I don't know how much of that is just an unfounded gut feeling or if there's actually a lot of logic to back it. I think there's elements.
I was speaking to Lax before in the green room, and he wasn't too...
I feel like we're more excited than the American boys.
EU teams. Yeah. But I feel like that's what North America...
He's a humble man.
Yeah, he's a humble man. Second round coming up. Of course, Wildcard took the opening round against SCARZ, back underway. We only had the one rehost on the first match, so I'm hoping it's a one-and-done situation once again. But good start for Wildcard, and again, all onus is going to be certainly on SCARZ and their ability to attack. They're going to have to get, I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least 2 attacking rounds here. Like, that's already probably far better than what we got in the opening match from the other 2 APAC teams. A little change up in terms of attacker selection for SCARZ, and I say little, it's actually rather large. And they will employ the glass this round.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Fire extinguisher pot early, which will be
Attackers are heading out to
the
defuse
little
a bomb.
nuances regarding the new environment. Whether you want to leave them up or destroy them early, I don't think it's going to make too big a difference, but it's something to consider. A little run out to bait.
Yeah, I think the consensus so far talking to teams, etc. I think I was sitting down with Tengu last night, you know, briefly chatting about it, and it seems like the matter is, as the defenders, you just shoot as many as you can in the first phase. They're not too impactful in action phase. That being said, we have seen small impacts. I think it was the same fire extinguisher in the games. The only one that we've captured being shot, we saw it in the first game, and then round 1 here for the second.
Also map dependent as well.
Yeah, because of the positioning of them.
Yeah, again, Wildcard banned out 2 very important operators for SCARZ in Deimos and Montaigne, both of which that can certainly aid the entry for the attacking team. Again, the new ban system employed. Something to consider, but apparently no issue. It's a double kill for SCARZ to begin the second round, but the response is swift from Wildcard to bring it to a 3 versus 3, and we will then settle, I imagine, go back into a bit of a lull. We didn't get to see, I don't think, any of those kills, but that's okay. There's always next time. And
play.
You get 2 of the snipers employed here as well, and the Glaz and the Wamai with a castle.
Yeah.
Not the best lineup, I think, for a 3-on-3 with 90 seconds remaining.
Swapping mags.
I was vibing out.
Rek does have a smoke grenade that he can use in pocket, and Fish has 2 to assist as well. I mean, so just for sure.
Oh, huge nitro from Spiker.
Well, they're not short of utility on the attack still, but
they're short of hard breach.
they need to get Rek activated, and no hard breach now means that they're pretty much forced to filter through.
So smoke deployed, 2 still remaining on the Wamai. You got to find this kill, Rek. But he doesn't want to overstep the mark. Grabs the kit. Minute left. Smoke, though, unfortunately now has extinguished. There is a bulletproof camera as well watching that doorway. Fishlike from above, actually able to use the vert, finds the kill onto Kansan. And so first floor control only now for Wildcard, but there's only 40 seconds remaining in the round.
Oh.
Yellow ping information. Can Fishlike find the kill? Indeed he can. From above onto Spiker and clears out that dining room position. And suddenly the snipers are finding an avenue here in the second round. 2-on-1. Rek is very low, down to Dash. He's certainly got the capabilities to win this round for Wildcard, and this is the player that you want in this situation and why they brought him to this roster. Watches towards the hatch, of which, of course, Fishlike is above. 20 seconds remaining. Yellow ping information off the BPC. Knows where the last player is. Drop down, and surely Dash should be able to finish off this Carly. Indeed, he does. Huge round for Wildcard.
That's clean siege. The positioning there from Dash was
beautiful.
Perfect. Able to push forward off the back of the BPC info, kill the player entering dining, and in the meantime, not overexposing himself to the throw potential from the hatch. Tucks in the corner, swings with a bit of pressure. And that's kind of just the cool, calm, collected nature of Dash that is probably a large reason as to how he found himself on this team. In fact, I would love to ask wildcard management. Like, how did they scout this team? Because it's such a crazy lineup when you think about it, really.
It's so crazy, it just might work.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, just a really good showcase in terms of an individual ability moment there from Dash. His positioning was absolutely perfect. He read the game situation amazingly well. One above, one pushing in towards dining. You still had the bulletproof camera, so you use that for your information. You get the yellow ping, you swing. It also helps, of course, he was going up against a Glance and a Womai. But to be fair, I mean, I felt like Fishlike and Rek actually were handling the situation quite well. After the spike of Nitrocell onto the castle, I thought that's it, round's done, but they started to bring it back. So you can take some small caveats there for SCARZ if you want to find the positives. They are there. Fortunately, the reality is, though, the round goes the way of Wildcard. 2-0 start on the defense and looking good for the North Americans.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
And French.
And French. Everyone's everywhere these days.
At least it's a majority NA team. I'll give them that much.
We'll give them that much. Same can't be said for Elevate.
We did lose to everyone on the beach.
Actually, yeah, as we were getting back in, I actually watched them leaving. Shoy on the buck with a swift entry in towards game 3. Captures his drone and now start to make his way around the map.
This is intriguing. Barricaded off inside of mud. Obviously, a teammate has barricaded him off, hence the orientation of that barricade, just to maybe throw SCARZ off. Potential for a mist drone as well, especially onto a vigil. This could be very intriguing. In fact, Baby Shark's play might be to be as passive for as long as possible, then go for the late sweep play.
Just a lurk of Roma on the vigil. If anyone comes into the mud, you'll probably get the free kill. If not, you can push out later in the round. Flash towards library, which you didn't even need to wait for it.
Oh, he got shut down. So Fishlike over bottom stairs was actually watching it and ready for it.
Nicely done by SCARZ to read the play. They do lose Wishoy, but they gain 2 kills off the back of it. And
got the
most
barbed wire.
importantly, dealt with the smoke as well.
Is that in the bingo card? I think he was calling around in the barbed wire at the game store. Done.
Just while that was happening, Hansen found the kill on the Choppy. He deals with the Grim. And we end back into a pretty similar scenario to round 1. 3v3, 9 seconds left.
Breaking into their network.
Cameras are going to get hacked as well, courtesy of the Dockerby from Fishlike.
That's going to be quite useful for the Echo on the board. SCARZ able to employ that information effectively. Plenty of time remaining, minute 10 on the clock. Main breach still to be, I was going to say dealt with, but no hard breach available.
Yeah, I wonder, I'm assuming the Grim must have had some tin can openers.
Stand by to it.
On the left.
Going for a drink.
Yeah, that slow approach now from SCARZ, very akin to what we saw in the opening match from the APAC teams, where they kind of try to go a little bit fast and then slow it down. Wildcard were able to stand strong on the site in the previous 2 rounds. Can they do so once again? Inside of Piano is Dash. He's going to be a key figure.
Attackers recovered the bomb
This is going to be
diffuser.
a meat grinder moment for SCARZ. I mean, the lack of hard breach here is...
Look at flashes, though. Surely they just flash dump in towards Piano and try and clear Dash.
They did at least get the wall open off the back of the Tero. Half-wall plan now an option.
Oh, yeah, but not going to be able to make it in. Canton with a swift headshot onto Gator. See you later. 20 seconds left. Wildcard certainly with an advantage once again. Ping goes out, the call goes out, and Canton by himself now on the Echo, which is not going to be something of too much use, although yes, indeed it still will be. Even though it has been hacked, still operational. Planting the diffuser now. Rek, good shot from Fishlike, and now knows exactly where Rek is as well. Plant does go down securely, but this is not a very strong position to push out of. Canton clutches up on the Echo. 3-0 start for Wildcard.
Clinical from Kansan. Big couple of kills and really composed. But how are you allowing that to happen when you have the cam hacked, you have a player watching the drone? Why are you not clearing it? Why is that not getting calmed? Don't yell at me. What's going on? Like, guys.
Well, I mean, I think the AA Gator loss as well just kind of just sends it so casually in towards half-wall, and they had no pressure back, so they had nothing on the solar side, nothing over towards bathroom or out in the balcony position, so you didn't have any of that horizontal pressure. It was just as simple as sit back, watch the long line of sight. They just send it in through the hard breach, easy pick, easy kill. Then the second one has to follow. Yeah, I feel like SCARZ definitely blew that round, but credit to Wildcard. They, again, just backed up their systems defensively on site. This was a fun little exchange earlier on in the...
Oh, he crawled into the barbed and died.
Fishlike can't be dying there.
Let's go, Ivan! Let's go, Ivan! Oh my god, guys! Let's fucking...
Let's what? You want to say that again?
Let's go! Oh my god, guys! Let's fucking go, guys!
There we go. Yeah, I mean, I will say, I think Fishlike probably needs to be in a position where he can watch the close, up close positions. Instead, he's sitting pretty much in the middle of the hard
Did he
bridge.
push forward to get the cam? Was that why?
I'm not too sure.
I can't quite remember the time. Well, either way, that was.
He's just literally in the middle
errors.
of the hard bridge.
Camera feed up and running.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the burst went out and then Rek got off
Loading new
the
mag.
cam.
10 seconds remaining.
Might have been a case of that. Either way, 3-0 start for Wildcard. Pretty decent on the defense.
5
SCARZ,
seconds to
again,
go.
you can find the positives, but they haven't won any rounds.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Reality of the situation is that we, of course, just had the second ban phase for the half. Fenrir banned out by SCARZ. The Dockerby banned out by Wildcard. And that's actually been where some of the success has been found for SCARZ. So they've lost that operator.
Yeah, the Dockerby was played 2 out of the opening 3 rounds. Likewise, the Fenrir as well. Top floor hold for the bar defense. We've seen the Jaeger employed previously back on game 1 for those perhaps unaware who didn't capture it. Jaeger now does actually catch Capitao bolts, which will let him be incredibly effective. This time around, though, that option not available, so catch the forward, but they do have Spiker there posted on the ward and perhaps looking to aggress. Nitro available, and we'll be able to counter potentially those flashes as they come through. Nitro doesn't land, ineffective. Continue to post up in the corner. Candella's being disposed of elsewhere, though, as well as Lion Scan, so SCARZ looking for some kind of ground, and there's the push. Spiker caught.
I think Spiker went for the more aggressive play of expecting to push in towards Big Game's window. So he looks down there, but then the timing is just perfect for SCARZ. And they have got themselves the best position they've found so far in the half. But Kansan, big from Barstock. And he might just find the second if that hatch does get big. Yellow ping, and the swing is absolutely perfect. So clean from Kansan. 7-1 start for him. And so far, Wildcard has shown they've got some serious firepower on this roster. Choppy. Can he make his way in successfully? He shot Fishlike in the back. He's almost team killed. The only player left alive that is there to help him. Big Nitrocell from Kansan, who has just absolutely wiped the floor with SCARZ in that round.
You wouldn't know it looking at him, though. He's so cool, collected up. Bit of a smile, bit of a laugh. But looking comfortable inside of the server. A player, of
It's
course.
just another Saturday for Kansan. That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, you go back a few years.
Is that
and
a
it does.
4K? I think it might have been in that round for him. He's up to 9 kills from the 4 rounds played. I think that was actually a quad from him. 4-0 start for Wildcard has forced out a tactical timeout by SCARZ as well.
Stands in top 4 One Triple Major 2022. Top 6 SI 2022. So, decent credits. And as the boys on the desk were sort of alluding to now, in some respects, the
Boys
leader
on the
of
desk
this
are
team.
basically going to just, with Fox and Lax on the analyst desk, they're just going to just may as well claim Wildcard as favourites for the rest of the tournament now. For this.
No. It's only an APAC team. Doesn't really.
If we had Fresh and Leo, then they'd be like, well, it's just they beat SCARZ, you know, like it's not that big a deal.
It's all Baby Shark. It's all the French talent.
Yeah, I mean, I will say for SCARZ, I can't believe I continue to say this, and maybe it's just because I'm coming into this tournament with such a positive mindset. They've done good things, but they just haven't been able to do it long enough, you know, and enough moments in the round. And even this was actually quite poor in the end. Choppy, Fishlike has got the hatch, he shot him in the back, and then he's died to a Nitrocell because he wasn't ready for it. So a little bit of chaos there in that moment for SCARZ, trying to get the plant down. Wildcard, I think, also just looking like more than capable of punishing SCARZ if they do make mistakes or over-aggress. But it's a good start if you're Wildcard. I mean, you really can't ask for a
10
better
seconds to go.
start to the tournament. You play an established roster,
5
but from a
seconds left
region
before
that
insertion.
historically hasn't seen a lot of success.
We'll wait and see what their
Attackers are
attacks
moving
look
to
like
defuse
because
the bomb.
Well, that is actually
So
that's
far.
a really good point. That's why you're my favorite podcast.
thank you.
It's, of course, a very defensive-sided map, apparently, today. The CAG FearX game was predominantly defense from both of them. And as we've already alluded to, APAC is really struggling to attack.
You said it before, 2-round benchmark. Still very much in play. SCARZ can just work on their mistake minimization a little bit more.
Oh. Baby Shark, really good discipline. Maybe not go for something there. Of course, the Claymore placed. Could have tried to go for a shot through the barricaded door as the run-through was happening. Bit of a focus over towards the solar side of the map here for SCARZ. Balcony right now, choppy on the Finker.
Here comes the
Where's this entry going to come from, though? Is it in towards Piano? Indeed it is. Just a clean vault over. Wreck is there for cover. So they had some numbers, but they did lose Washoy. That's done from Wreck, but at least get the kill on to Kansas. Finally shuts him down. He's already got double digits. Dash, though. Easy headshot with the SMG-11. And those Bs may be buzzing, but it's Wildcard that is certainly up and about as Choppy is down for the count. Not for much longer. Adrenal Surge activated and Choppy's back up and ready for the fight. His Dash is down to 1 HP. He just went for another swing. Didn't mind the fact that he was so low on health, but now Choppy by himself can push forward. Dash very low, won't take much to find this particular kill. He can't even get the kill. Dash able to put a big dent into this half now for SCARZ as they are 5-0 down. Wildcard with a very clean look to start reload. And it's just another Saturday for them. They're just chilling.
I'm loving what I'm saying. I mean, good pressure from SCARZ in that round. The Grim offering a lot of information, and we saw that sort of set play come out from SCARZ in terms of the entry over towards Piano, and that pressure began to mount. You could see players in the backline pinged out. But it was Dash specifically who just stood up in the moment, SMG in hand, was willing and able to take on those medium to long distance fights. And just so precise, landing his shots, applying so much pressure, preventing that control over towards the Propel as well in the end. And ultimately too good up close with the shotgun as well. So
Let's fucking go, guys.
good vibes in the Wildcard camp at the moment, understandably so. A
Attackers have discovered the location
5-0
of a
lead.
bomb.
SCARZ.
Do we get Flawless in play? Spoke about it actually in the previous game. It was a...
No, don't. You're not allowed to say the F word, because if you say the F word,
They said the F word.
then it won't happen.
10 seconds left.
Oh, they said the other word.
What was the other word?
I can't say it. They can.
5 seconds left before insertion.
I have said it before.
You have said
Actually,
it.
last time I was in Brazil.
Did you actually? Oh, yeah.
It was a Dark Zero VP game that was quite electric. This one was got some kind of electricity to it, but only from one side. Wildcard have looked very, very good. Their on-site holds have been very, very strong. Happy to play some of these key positions as well. Baby Shark's been living inside of mud. Troy on the other side of it. And this has really got to be, again, a reminder for the APAC teams, just needing to find more success in their attacking rounds.
I don't think these attacks have been completely
awful.
It's just finding that extra 5% that's the difference maker.
I think Wildcard's positioning has actually been incredible so far on Chalet. Happy to take some of the more aggressive angles and fights. We saw that with Dash. Round.
Oh, you ran past him!
Did lose out. But
he's running
4-3. Kill on to Wreck. And Gated to fall as well. It's all falling apart for SCARZ. Choppy able to get one back, but then losing out to a nice peek from Bay. Clinical again from Wildcard. Their defense proving to be, well, impenetrable at the moment. As Fishlike in a 1 versus 3, entering towards Trophy. Hoping and praying that someone maybe just over peaks, gets over aggressive, but for Wildcard, I don't think that will be the case. They've got top floor control. So much utility to still play off. Yellow ping information at least. Onto Bay, over towards Bedroom, hoping that he would swing. He does swing, but Bay's just better. Hits the headshot. 6-0 for Wildcard at the close of the opening half.
You have permission now. The F word terms have been lifted.
Yeah, this is flawless territory.
Yeah, very much so.
SCARZ get one opportunity on the defense to deny the 7-0 for Wildcard. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm too surprised, but maybe I'm surprised at the actual overall scoreline, the fact that it's a 6-0, but I'm not overly surprised that A, an APAC team struggled on attack, and B, this Wildcard team that's got some really nice additions and change up is looking very nice, and they're on the defense to begin. Like, coming into this, I would have predicted like 5-1 anyway to Wildcard in the opening.
Really?
Yeah, I probably would have predicted 5-1. It's easy to say now.
Hindsight Harry.
Yeah, absolute hindsight Harry. But I think I'm basing that also off the previous game and the lack of attacking crowds of these APAC teams. Wildcard position has been very good on their sides. They're swinging, they're aggressive. Baby Shark, I think, has almost that freedom, that license to kind of just play different positions off-site, go lurk, go sit inside of mud, see if you can catch someone. That's proving to be pretty successful. 4 and 3 when you're playing that position, you're making an impact. Dash is just proving to be the kind of play you're just not going to be able to push over on site. He's holding strong. He also gets really counter-aggressive. And don't forget, Kansan had like all 9 of those 10 kills inside the opening 3 rounds.
Big impact. They're not just farming numbers, right? They continue to aggress offside and look precise, and they have the anchors in the back line as well to make up for the fact that, yes, SCARZ are aggressive and going to make plays, but those players further back in the line of defense are holding their own as well, right?
Never a good sign as well when the analysts start coming back in, getting ready, because they sense the game's almost over.
Attackers must locate.
What do you think, Fox? Give us a thumbs up or a
We got
thumbs down.
Fox over here. What do you think, North America on top? Yeah, double thumbs up. Say. Not just one, just it's a double thumbs up.
Swapping man.
I've never seen Fox so animated.
Yeah, I've never seen moves like this before. Jeez. Save it for the camera. Well, it's up to SCARZ now to deny the flawless.
I mean, what a boost that would be for Wildcard in this tournament to get the additional bullets off the back of a flawless. I think it's not going to be massive, but it's still
and
significant.
honestly, if you're Wildcard this round, you're locked in. You're like, boys, we can get the flawless here. Some extra bullets on the table.
Yeah, which is cool aspect of the tournament, right? Because previously it would just be a case of, oh, let's just grind it out eventually.
Yeah. Get to it like one of the sites that's like, the tertiary site.
The tertiary.
Yeah.
So a bit on the line here.
And same for SCARZ as well. Bit on the line, indeed. You certainly do not want to kickstart reload. Getting flawless by Wildcard. Obviously, we did have the bans change up for this second half. SCARZ opting to ban some of the more informational operators in Grim and Deimos. Wildcard getting rid of Azami and Fenrir. Dash towards library stairs. Oh. Kansan's actually been caught. Third hold from Rek, successful. Kansan's entry, unsuccessful, and they lose the buck. No skeleton key.
That's probably
eliminates a lot of that soft break
first
potential. Oh, and dash caught as well from the first. Rex just found 2 from the same position over at the half wall in office, and SCARZ are on the verge of claiming their first round at reload.
Reload!
I was about to say, it's probably the first, first in quotations mistake we've kind of seen from Wildcard be punished thus far. And it was back-to-back from the exact same position, so very much early days in the half, but could this be another defensive?
Well, there's no map control right now. You've only got Bay over towards the Mez, 2 outside in the exterior, and Wildcard don't really have a whole lot to help them get inside of the map here and start to unravel this defense of SCARZ. They're going to have to just go for broke. That's a barricade destroyed over towards Bathroom. Yellow Pink, 1 in towards Piano. Aya Gator gets rid of Spiker. Well, we thought this might be flawless, but it may be a flawless round. Indeed, it will be for SCARZ. How fitting.
Yeah.
So it was a flawless.
Yeah, kind of.
Just the way we thought it was going to be. No 7-0 for Wildcard. SCARZ on the board. And they had to get that one. You really, at the very least, now need to save grace for if you're SCARZ. You cannot be getting 7-0'd. If this ends up being like 7-3, okay, it's a little bit like CAG in the opening map. You redeem yourself a little bit. It's a long way back, though, from 6-0 in terms of the match as a whole. But it does feel like one of the hurdles has been overcome. You're not going to get flawless now. Still, you've got 5 more match points that do need to be overcome.
Yeah, I think the most likely outcome from here is it goes to the third site, the tertiary, and we'll see Wildcard come out on top.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Fortunately for them, that previous round, losing 2 picks essentially for free on the back of that third uncontested. In the hands of Rek was pretty devastating, and the remaining players not really in a position or having the utility to be able to deal with that hold above, understandably so. Over to Bar and Games for round number 8. Mirror in play and available, and so we'll see them employed from Gator.
10 seconds
Quite intrigued
to
to see
go.
what Wildcard looks to do in terms of their approach. We are going to see the repick onto Blitz, and so that
5
may
seconds
suggest
to
something
go.
a little bit more direct and aggressive. Could also be a tool to aim on the map clear as well. Where to see. Not quite sure what Lax is trying to tell me on the side, but he looks very excited. More animated than Fox, that's for sure.
No, really? Wow, that's shocking. Doesn't take much to be more animated than Fox. I think he's got a fishing trip, actually.
I see what he's doing. He's saying that SCARZ are going to bring this game back and pull off the upset.
Be a really big believer. Now, Kansan's got a little bit quiet since he's 10 kills in 4 rounds.
Well, he has a big role in this one, though.
Yeah, on the
especially in the face of the Warden.
APAC is, of course, available, as you said, on the wall. A little slow to react to that frag grenade, though, and eventually walks into another one. Oh, they've played that perfectly, Wildcard. Really good utility usage to put the frag grenades. And that has enabled them the entry towards top library. Dash gets the kill onto Choppy, of which now gives them a 2-player advantage for the remainder of this round. So someone from SCARZ now needs to go for that counter punch, try and get a kill back. But with that, you overextend your position, and Gator gets caught, and he has no idea really even where from. Yellow ping, there's no one there. Not sure what you're pinging. Dash gets the free kill onto Gator. They haven't even fired a shot this round, SCARZ. Wildcard so clinical with their entries. We haven't even really needed the blitz, as Dash decides to dash in towards Barstock and make this a swift finish for Wildcard. It may not be 7-0, it may not be flawless, but hey, it's an astounding start to reload for this new look roster. Wildcard, 7-1.
Yeah, quick game's a good game, and Wildcard proudly waving that flag for North America with a convincing start, not really putting too many feet wrong at all over the course of those 8 rounds. Off to a good start, still plenty more to go for them at this event, but I think they'll be quite pleased.
I think it was a really well-rounded performance overall from Wildcard. Kansas double-digit 10 kills from him inside of the first 4 rounds. That was, well, probably what we expected in this roster, and everyone else had a little moment or two where I felt like they had some really good impact. So really, really good signs for this Wildcard roster to begin. We will, of course, always add that little asterisk, APAC team, you know, what can they do against others, etc. But hey, you can only play what's in front of you, and that's a very resounding result as well. It's not like they struggled to get the win. They absolutely destroyed SCARZ, who are going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if Chalet is going to be one that they're going to want to put in the wheelhouse again for this particular tournament. That being said, though, it is arguably one of the maps where things should be a little bit more open for the attack. We didn't see that in this matchup, so we'll see how it develops. But yeah, that's the end of the match, Jake. Let's go to the break and find out what's on the other side.
Let's go! Fucking go!
Baby shark, do 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 do. I needed to do this. We are back on Reload, and I'm here with Baby Shark, who just made your debut on Tier 1. Yeah. So, how's the feeling for you?
A bit like I was stressed at the beginning, but like I was feeling good during the game. Like my mate made me like confident. I'm really happy about the result. We worked hard. We are literally a young team. Like we're together since like less than 1 month, I think. It's literally my Tier 1 debut. I didn't play any stage, anything from the professional side, so I'm really happy about the result.
Yeah, you should be, because, you know, 7-1, that's really cool. And also, it was very easy for you guys. Did you expect that?
Not really. I mean, to be honest, we knew that these guys were good. Like, the APAC region is, like, unpredictable. Like, they can play a lot of play styles, aggressiveness, etc. So, like, we're just, like, playing our game. We didn't prep anything against them because, like, that's a new roster too. But, like, yeah, we're just happy about that and nothing more. Just happy about the result.
Also, do you think Wildcard may be one of the underdogs team in this reload?
I think that we could be, yeah. Yeah, we could be. I think, yeah, but, like, let's see. I'm not going to talk, and we'll see, like, during the tournament how will be, like, the next matches. But, yeah.
Let's see. Let's just see what it happens, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Baby Shark. And that's with you, Malik.
Thank you, Maria. It's good to see you again here on the broadcast and having a chat with Baby Shark. And, well, at the end of the day, 7-1 victory for Wildcard. And, my God, we're talking about SCARZ trying to put up a fight. Yeah, there was none really to be seen.
Not at all. We're talking about Baby Shark. It really was like a Jaws movie. It just looked like round after round, Wildcard was on top of it. And I really feel like the deafening moment was back-to-back clutches. Dash clutch, Kansan clutch. It really shut down SCARZ. They had no ability to get their momentum back into things. It was just quiet, lights out from that moment, and Wildcard had it the rest of the way. Really well played.
I mean, we said in the beginning of this when we were going over the rosters, I mean, you noted Kansan is a big name that sticks out specifically to this roster. I touched up on Dash. Both those players, the most experience on this roster, leading that charge, leading those gunfights, those entries. Both those, I mean, you see them both right there, 10-3, 10-4. That is what you want from your experienced players, so that Spiker, that Baby Shark, they can play around, learn things from, and keep getting better and growing as a roster. As Baby Shark said, they haven't been together for less than a month. So as this tournament continues, I expect to see each and every single one of these players stepping up individually and having a good performance.
One thing that I look at specifically at a team's longevity as an IGL is if you look at their opening kills, they're not slaughtering across their board. They're not getting those opening advantages, yet they still manage to win the rounds where they're man deficit down, and that is good grounds for a solid team that can, with a little bit more experience, have a deep run in a tournament. And they've played so well off of each other. Even in the moments where they were man down, it went down to the execute, they still knew exactly what they needed to do in those moments. So it feels like the coordination and the leading of what the game plan is, the win factor, the win condition, Wildcard had it.
I'm absolutely not going to call it early, but I keep getting flashbacks to Manchester, and that is a story that I would love to see.
We definitely got to see a little bit more from Wildcard. I mean, that was SCARZ.
I know.
SCARZ just had a big
A man can dream.
I mean, roster-wise, a man can dream.
You know, you can make the excuse that SCARZ, did make this roster change, but it's not an excuse for them to have this performance, especially a team like Wildcard that doesn't have that international experience. Sure, Kansan does, Dash does, but the other three don't. And the fact that you're putting up a 1-7 in your first performance, putting up 2 bullets, I believe, losing those, you're putting yourself already at a very bad deficit going against a team that realistically you should have put a better performance up against.
Well, then what will be part of our next segment, of course, at the end of every matchup, our Blacklight Detail, where our wonderful analysts selected a specific moment from the game for us to learn from, either be it a new mechanic like we have with Capitao, or something different this time.
I mean, not necessarily a new mechanic, but just Kansan going crazy. Obviously, he's the player that we highlighted specifically at the start of the game, and this was a nice 1v2 situation where he understands the positioning. He knows once the case goes down, there's no possible way that he would be able to get out of the site, so he holds an off angle. He doesn't overexpose. That's a veteran move. Kansan, we've seen him clutch beautiful clutches, that 1v4 on Bank. That's notorious for Kansan. Moments like that, you can understand and really see the level of a player's IQ in game. And Kansan right there, he rounded it out to a 4K. He won that round, and I think that was the deciding moment that shut down SCARZ.
And again, for like Baby Shark, just seeing a player that prestigious be able to read that situation like that, not getting overzealous, that is something that Baby Shark then can retain to himself. If he's put in a similar position, to just wait for them to come into your crosshair. Don't be overzealous. Don't force around if you don't have to.
He's waiting. He's a learning experience. You got to wait for the chum in the water.
Facts.
Hell yeah. That's what SpongeBob says with the chum bucket and all that. Anyways, thanks so much. Gentlemen.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I love SpongeBob. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Kind of look like him.
That was my nickname back in school, by the way. Anyways, well, that's another story to tell another time. Gentlemen, thanks so much. That was our Blacklight Detail. We see Baby Shark learning from Kansan, learning from the rest of the squad. Well, we have some more to learn, because imagine if you put 5 of the greatest minds in Siege, 5 of the best IGLs all together in one room to talk about tactics. That would be something to learn a lot from. And hey, good for us. We've already done that. That is the IGL Roundtable.